Hi everyone, this is Chris. Thank you for joining me. And today we're going to be making some jewelries, and it's not going to be about resin, so it's different, and we're going to use some beads. It is very easy to do. You can do this with any color and replace the beads that I'm using. As you can see here, I'm using flat rounded beads. This one is just round. This one is in a heart shape, as well as the other green one. And I just love the look of these beads and the shininess of it and this kind of white reflection that you have. And the bead here underneath is exactly the same here, the same pink with the same kind of reflection. And for this one, I use something a little different. It's also the same green. It looks lighter because it's more transparent, but it's also the same color. So, of course, you can replace this by any of your choice. And I've also used these bales that I think are absolutely gorgeous, and this one as well. If you don't have these bales, you don't have to use them. It's just something a little more precious as well. So very few materials for this. You will need 2 beads. So this time I'm going to do this in yellow. You will also need 2 pins. This one is the leftover that I'm going to use for my small bead, and I will use a bigger one for the biggest bead. And there's already a loop here. If you don't have a loop, you can make it yourself. If you want to start up with this kind of pin here with a flat back, you can make a double loop if you want to. Just make sure that for this one it's going to be longer than your bead. And I'm going to put the smallest one on the bottom of my bead here. You will also need a bail like I showed you before, this kind. This is really optional. And for the tools, you're going to need a flesh cutter. I really like this kind because it really cuts perfectly and very close to the edge where you need to cut. And probably 1 or 2 pliers, and also some round nose pliers to make the loop. This one here, I am going to put the smallest loop in the bottom because I'm going to make a bigger one here so that my bail can fit into. And it's long enough here. It's about maybe a finger. That's the way I usually try and see the width without having to measure. I am going to put my round nose pliers just at the bottom here, and then I'm going to put that pin as a straight angle here. Okay, can you see that? I'm going to block this loop in here so it doesn't move, and I'm putting my fingers direction of the ceiling, and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to turn it back on itself. I'm not going to close it completely yet. As you can see, it's open, and I'm going to put my bail on and finished closing it perfectly. I need to close it a little bit more here. I will verify this afterwards to make sure because I need to get much closer and I'm going to have my head in the way. So I think it's going to be good for now. Then I'm going to take this kind of nail pin. There is probably a word for it. If you have it, please let me know in the comments below. And I'm going to use this. Some of them has a little ball. It's just to stop the bead, make sure it's not too small. Here my bead is secure. I'm going to cut the excess off, so I'm just going to leave like a bit less than my small finger here, my pinky, because I just want to make a very small loop to get in there. And again, I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to bend it at a right angle, and I'm going to twist. I'm not completely going to close it. I put my other bead inside, and now I can close it shut. And there you go. So it's dangling like this. I think it's better. I don't like when things are, you know, straight and not moving. It really looks pretty the way that it is now, and your pendant is already done. Now what I'm going to use to embellish it is make one of these. I have a video how to make these necklaces to get into your pendants. If you want to, I will put the video in the upper right corner to see how you can make these. You can use a very simple one just using some rat tail cord like this one here. I made a bit more sophisticated using some small because I don't have a very large yellow one, and I think the yellow matches better than this kind of color. It's not completely white, but I think it was a bit too pale. And this hole is big enough so that I can put this here. And there you go. So I'm not going to give you the measurements for this part because it depends how long you want it to be. You could make it very, very long. Just take a look at your other pendants or other necklaces to see what you prefer, and it's done. And look at this. It was very simple, very fast. This is, of course, probably more for beginners, but you can see that you make beautiful pieces of jewelry with almost nothing. And more you're going to go. And the more you will make jewelries, more you will buy good stuff. And I would like to show you something that is important concerning the round nose pliers. So that's two different ones. As you can see, this one here doesn't have a hole in between here when I just close the jaws. In this one, you can see my finger there. There's a hole just in there. This is not good because what can happen when you put your wire, and I'm going to put it just there if I wanted to make a big loop, it's loose. You can see here it's loose, it's not grabbing on, and it makes it insecure when you want to bend it. This one closes perfectly. It's completely straight in the center here, so I can grab it and it's not going to move. So if you can, before buying some tools, make sure specifically more for this one here, the round nose pliers, that it's going to be straight all the way up to the edge here. Okay, it's going to make your life easier, specifically if you want to make more bigger loops. It's really important. I wanted to show you that. I bought this one, I think, on Amazon, so it has a black handle with a little bit of red. This one is really good. So that was it. Nothing very complicated, but if you have a nice bead, you can absolutely make wonders. Very, very quick video. So these would be perfect for Mother's Day that is coming soon, for a birthday, also for craft fairs if you wanted to. I mean, look at this. They're all beautiful. I like this bail too. It makes it look also quite antique. And you can find a lot of websites that sell very good quality beads as well, depending of your area. There are good brands in the United States that I know of, like Beadaholic. They sell beautiful beads. They have absolutely great prices. So please give me some thumbs up for this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. I have changed the days that I post my English videos. It's still on Tuesdays, but now it's going to be on Sundays. It used to be Saturdays, but now it will be on Sundays for English videos. Don't forget also to share on social medias, on Pinterest. I also have a Facebook page. You have all the links below. And don't forget, leave me your comments. Tell me which one of these do you prefer. The yellow, the round green one, or maybe the hearts. I'll be interested to know what are your favorite shapes and colors. And yes, that's it. So please take care and see you soon for other videos.